My son won an award for his graduation project, and the bonus was $20,000. He spent $10,000 on a pair of sneakers for himself, $5,000 on a suit for his dad, and the remaining $5,000 on a tour package for his grandparents. I thought he'd prepared an even bigger surprise for me, so I was filled with anticipation. When he noticed me waiting, he frowned and mumbled, "You're just a housewife. You haven't done anything for me. What right do you have to share my money?" My husband heard this and looked at me with disgust. "Housewives have it easy. You already have a good life, and now you're being greedy, trying to spend our son's money. You're insatiable." Later, the whole family got insured, except for me. They said housewives don't get tired and don't get sick. But in the end, I was the only one in the family who got a serious illness from overwork. When they saw how high the surgery cost was, they directly gave up on my treatment. Finally, I died alone in the hospital. When I opened my eyes, I was reborn. My son was calling me a control freak. The exciting part is about to start. If you like it, you can click to subscribe. You're always bossing me around, controlling this and that, not letting me eat or drink what I want. I'm so annoyed. Damn it, why don't you just die? My son's spittle sprayed on my face, stunning me. I looked around, shocked by the familiar scene before me. I was reborn and had gone back to the year when my son was in the 3rd grade of junior high school. Since there was only 1 year left, I made a preparation plan for the high school entrance examination for him. Today was the 5th day since the plan started, and as soon as he came back, he blew up. He entered the door, cursing and making veiled accusations. The moment I opened my mouth to ask him a question, he threw those words at me. He casually threw the dictionary pen I bought for him on the ground and stomped it to pieces. Damn English. You learn it yourself. Don't push your ideals onto me and make me achieve them for you, you selfish person. This was the 3rd time he'd had an outburst this week. I calmly asked him, "Didn't you say you'd only go to a key high school?" He sneered disdainfully. Ever since I started junior high school, I'd been at the top of my class in every exam. Do you think I can't get into a mere key high school? My mother-in-law on the sofa chimed in. Yeah, Suilian, you're too strict with Michael. Our Michael is so smart. He doesn't need to learn so much. Your arrangements are suffocating him. You should reflect on yourself. My father-in-law spat out the melon seed husks in his mouth and nodded in agreement. I asked them, is it strict for a student preparing for the exam to study by himself for 1 hour every night, have 3-hour tutoring on Saturdays, and rest all day on Sundays? Michael threw his school bag on the ground. You're a total control freak. You enjoy controlling me, so of course you don't think it's strict. I'm a human being. I need to breathe. Give me back my weekends and evenings. My husband, Benjamin, pushed the door open, his brows knitted tightly. What are you arguing about again? I could hear you in the corridor. He turned to me and asked, Suilian, you've been nagging Michael again, right? The whole family thought it was my fault. I remembered that at this time in my previous life, I desperately presented evidence that Michael would fall behind if he didn't work hard, but in the end, I just got looks of contempt and resentment from the whole family. I felt so pitiful and ridiculous. This time I wasn't angry or anxious. I asked my son, so what do you want to do? Michael looked at me in surprise, as if he didn't expect me to ask that. He was stunned for a while before saying, first of all, I want to eat and sleep whenever I want. You're not allowed to interfere. I nodded. Okay. Michael's eyes nearly popped out. He asked in disbelief, don't perfunctory me. I'm serious. Benjamin suppressed the surprise on his face and interrupted, Suilian, I'm not saying this for the first time. The child is growing up. He needs not only study but also rest. You make him study all day long. He's getting depressed. Don't you really think you have a problem? My mother-in-law added fuel to the fire. I've long said that Suilian's way of raising children is wrong. Our Michael was such a well-behaved child, but she's made him more and more eccentric. People outside even ask me if the child has psychological problems and tell me to take him to see a psychologist. My father-in-law let out a sullen sound, threw out the melon seed husks in his hand in a fit of anger, and looked at me coldly. As a mother, you shouldn't push your child like this. In ancient times, a mother who pushed her son like this would be paraded through the streets. I laughed and spread my hands. Why are you all so excited? What did I say? My mother-in-law bared her teeth at me. I know you won't agree to let Michael have more rest even if you don't say it. I've known you for more than a day. I ignored her and asked my son, do you have any other requests? My son glanced at them and then said tentatively, besides the two just now, I want to cancel the daily 45-minute mobile phone limit. I want to play as long as I want, play games, do live streaming. Even if I stream until 3 a.m., you're not allowed to interfere. I nodded again. Okay. His eyes became even more fixed. He immediately took out a pen and paper and quickly wrote down more than 10 requests. I took a quick look. Generally speaking, it meant that I should let go of everything about him. He handed it to me. Sign it. Only when you sign it will I believe you. I glanced at my husband and in-law's reactions. They all stared at me with a look that seemed to have seen through me, waiting for me to say no so that they could criticize me as they did just now. I had been living like this for nearly 10 years. My son wasn't good at studying. While others could understand a knowledge point in 1 minute, he needed half an hour to fully understand it. But he'd wanted to be the first since he was a child and have others call him a genius. Lacking talent but still wanting to enter a key high school and enjoy others' admiration, he could only work twice as hard. In my previous life, after learning about his situation, I weighed the pros and cons and chose him over my career. I quit my teaching job and wholeheartedly took care of my husband and educated my son at home. I brought his grades from the bottom of the class to the top 10. Every day, besides doing housework and taking care of my in-laws, I bought study materials for him, made study plans, tutored his homework, consolidated his knowledge, and arranged for him to combine work and rest. For almost 10 years, it was the same every year. Although this kind of life was dull and hard, seeing him make progress with my own eyes made me feel that everything was worth it. I endured his unreasonable outbursts time and time again, and under a lot of baseless accusations, I cultivated him into a top student in the design department of a 985 university, and he won the graduation project bonus with an excellent work. But what happened? When he gave a speech on stage, he thanked many people, including himself, his father, his grandparents, his teachers and classmates, and even the wild cats in the neighborhood, but he didn't mention me at all. I was also excluded from the bonus. After graduating from university, with the honors I helped him obtain, he got an offer from a famous enterprise. In the first month he got his salary, he found a house and moved out. He didn't even come back to see me once a year, not even during the spring festival. Later, I became ill from depression. Lying in the hospital bed, I said I wanted to see him. He came slowly, half a month late. When he saw me for the first time, he was still looking down at his phone and even laughed. As soon as I said a word to him, he interrupted me impatiently. I'm independent now. You still want to control me when I play with my phone? After that, the next time he came to the hospital to see me was when I was dying. He rushed over and told the doctor to give up treating me. At this moment, looking at the paper in front of me, I smiled, picked up the pen, and neatly wrote my name. From today on, you're free, Michael. He turned his head and patted the calendar on the wall, emphasizing to me, there are only 10 days until the mid-term exam. After the mid-term exam, there will be a parents' meeting. I've already told my colleagues that my son has good grades and always ranks in the top 10. I'm waiting to go to the parents' meeting and take pictures to show them. With his current review state, how can he get into the top 10? I listened to him quietly and then smiled. So you know all this? I thought you didn't understand, so you always accused me of being too strict and driving the child crazy when I disciplined him. His face changed. He held back for a long time before squeezing out a sentence, don't play this game with me. You're the child's mother. You know best what's good for the child. Letting him do whatever he wants is definitely not loving him. He waved his hand and ordered me, I know you're just pretending with him, but time is precious. Stop pretending and go and discipline him now. I raised my eyebrows. No, since I've signed, I will never go back on my word. If you want to discipline him, you go. Anyway, he's not my son alone. He said righteously, I have to work to earn money to support you all. I took out the contract I just signed. Coincidentally, I'm also going to work. The basic salary is $8,000 with commissions, and I'll start work tomorrow. He picked it up and took a look. All the anger in his body suddenly disappeared, and he stammered, You. Are you serious? I shrugged. He quickly came over and sat me down on the sofa, earnestly persuading me. Why do you have to do this? There's enough food and drink at home for you. Why go out and show yourself? Isn't $3,000 a month enough for you? I sneered. You'll know if it's enough if you try. He was silent for a while, then took out his phone and showed me a picture of a woman named Isabella. Do you think it's easy to earn $8,000 in an education institution? What good jobs can married women find outside? They're all lying to you. In the end, they'll make you do this kind of showy and borderline live streaming. Look at this woman. She's so disgusting and cheap. Do you want to be like her? His words were full of malice towards women, which made me sick. I coldly replied, your brain is full of crap. You're dirty, so you think everything is dirty. He sneered, licked his lips, and said, no, your son is at a crucial stage now. If he fails the high school entrance examination, he'll have to go to an ordinary high school. Can an ordinary high school get him into a good university? Definitely not. What kind of future can he have then? I turned my head and shouted towards my son's room, Michael, can you get into a key high school without my help? Just then, my son came out to go to the bathroom. After hearing this, he laughed disdainfully. You make it sound like you helped me get into the top 10 every time. It's because I'm smart. It has nothing to do with you. Oh, these were the words his grandparents flattered him with, and he actually believed them. His IQ is really worrying. Benjamin looked very unhappy when he saw this. He had always played the role of a kind-hearted father. He was absent from the daily education, but every time his son got good grades, he would go to the parents' meeting and take all the credit. He held back for a long time and then said, Michael, your mother is angry. My son's face suddenly turned gloomy, and he glared at me menacingly. Damn it, are you going to go back on your word? My mother-in-law cut me off. Yeah, your mom is going to go back on her word. You've eaten enough tonight. Don't eat any more, or she'll start nagging non-stop again later. Look, the whole family knows I'm right, but none of them want to be disliked by the child. Michael's rebellious spirit flared up. He held the bowl of noodles and ate it in big mouthfuls right in front of me, his cheeks puffing in and out. He really looked a bit like a pig. Benjamin and my mother-in-law stared at me, waiting for me to explode. Instead, I smiled and gave my son a thumbs up. Your dad is right. Teens are in a growth spurt. Eat as much as you want. At that moment, I saw unprecedented panic in Benjamin's and my mother-in-law's eyes. 10 days passed like this. My son's mid-term exam results came out. He ranked 200th in the grade, a precipitous drop. The whole family was certain that I couldn't keep up the act and would tear up the agreement. On the day the results came out, my phone was almost blown up by the homeroom teacher and teachers of various subjects. I directly transferred the calls to Benjamin and told him to handle it. He accused me. It's your obligation to communicate with the school teachers about the child's situation. I still have to work. Do you even know how to be a wife? I replied indifferently. If you think I don't know how, we can get a divorce. I'm free anytime. He was caught off guard. You can't just bring up divorce at every turn. I'm not that heartless. The next second, he deliberately softened his tone. Suelian, I know you love the child. You're just having a tantrum with him now. But it's been more than 10 days of this nonsense. That's enough. He's already realized his mistake and won't talk back to you anymore. You don't know how depressed he was when the results came out yesterday. He directly took a sick leave and went home. Now he's holed up in his room, playing games and eating fried chicken to distract himself. He's almost a wreck. I chuckled. If he can still eat and play games, it means he's in a good state. Seeing that I was still calm, he was at a loss. Honey, please, come back, okay? Look, I'll increase your living expenses by $500. I'll give you $3,500 a month. Quit that job and come back to take care of the house. It's an ancient tradition that the man works outside and the woman manages the home. If you let go, won't the family fall apart? I sighed softly. I can't. I just signed a contract, and the boss even asked me to lead a remedial class. If I leave suddenly, I'll have to pay a penalty. It's a total of $500,000 in liquidated damages. If you have it, transfer it to me to pay it off? He exploded. What? That's an outrageous amount of liquidated damages. Impossible, I don't believe it. You're lying to me. I spread my hands. If you insist on thinking that way, I can't do anything about it. He angrily hung up the phone. I shook my head with a smile. I thought he could hold out longer. He's already asking for help. So boring. When I got home, as soon as I entered the door, I saw the report card posted on the wall. The words dropped 216 places were marked prominently. If it were me before, I would definitely have cried anxiously. This kind of thing had happened before. At that time, Michael was playful and didn't review according to the plan I gave him a week before the exam, resulting in a drop of more than 20 places in his grades. I was so anxious that I couldn't sleep all night, and my hair fell out in large clumps. Benjamin even said I was too nervous. In their eyes, this result was enough to make me furious and go on a rampage at home. At this moment, they were all sitting on the sofa, secretly glancing at my reaction. Only Michael was comfortably huddled on the sofa, playing mobile games and occasionally shouting a swear word to coordinate with his teammates. I calmly changed my shoes and walked in. Seeing that I was still unmoved, they all started to act in front of me. My mother-in-law desperately fed Michael high-calorie food, my father-in-law held a plate to feed the child fruits, and Benjamin used Baidu to find answers to the child's homework for him to copy. He deliberately raised his voice so that I could hear. "Michael, it's okay. No matter how difficult the questions are, there are ready-made answers. You can just copy them. You don't need to think." The child was happy. "I've always said this would work. My mom always says I need to think and think. She's such an old-fashioned person." He copied happily. Before long, he had copied all the answers. Benjamin said again, "Son, Dad believes you can definitely get the first place in the next exam." "Suelian, don't you think so?" I raised my eyebrows. "It's your decision. You don't need to ask me." Michael exclaimed. "Mom, do you think I didn't do well this time because you didn't help me?" "Bah. Don't try to take the credit. I just deliberately relaxed. It's just a mid-term exam, not a big deal. As long as I'm serious, getting the first place is a piece of cake." I gave him a thumbs up. Impressive. He became even more arrogant. The others couldn't sit still. Even their hair seemed to be full of anxiety. During the 2-day weekend, they doted on the child in front of me, trying to make me lose my temper. Benjamin even took the child to work with him, telling me that even without me, he could handle both work and the child well. As a result, as soon as Michael got there, he made all kinds of self-righteous remarks about the feng shui of the house, scaring away all the customers who came to see the house. Benjamin lost 2 big deals, and his commission for this month was gone. But when he came back, he pretended to be relaxed and praised the child for being smart in front of me, saying that even if he lost the deals, it was worth it. He was sure that I would discipline the child because I was worried about him. But I was busy tutoring the students in the institution online and didn't have the time or the mood to pay attention to them. On Monday, they finally lost their composure. Michael played games until 4 a.m. and now he couldn't get up and didn't want to go to school. My father-in-law and mother-in-law were by the bedside, feeding him mouthful by mouthful, but they couldn't coax him to get up after a long time of trying, and he even pushed them. Benjamin got angry. All the anger he had accumulated during this period turned into a slap on the child's face. The child screamed. "My mom has never hit me. What right do you have to hit me? Damn it." Michael smashed all the things in the house. After venting, he got back into bed and lay down. When I went out, the 3 adults all stared at me. Their eyes were full of resentment. As if I was the one who caused all this. But they forgot that the child had always been like this, or even worse. It was just that I had been disciplining him before, so he hadn't caused trouble at home. When I was about to leave, Benjamin rushed over and grabbed me. "Are you really serious?" I smiled. "You finally believe it." He sneered. "I don't need a woman who can't manage the house. Aren't you afraid I'll divorce you?" My mother-in-law put her hands on her hips. "If you get divorced, you won't be able to see Michael again." Seeing their self-righteous faces, I laughed out loud. "Whatever you want." Benjamin gritted his teeth. "I really will divorce you." My son's door slammed open. His eyes sparkled with excitement. "You two are getting divorced? Great. I want to be with Dad." "Mom, when are you leaving?" I smiled. "I can leave right now." I had just walked a few steps out of the house when I heard my son's complacent voice from behind. "Don't worry. I'm her son. She won't abandon me even if she dies. She's just a stupid woman who loves to act. I won't put up with her bad habits. Besides, she's used to being a lazy housewife. She can't stand the hardship of working. Just wait and see. She'll come crawling back to us within a month. Then it'll be our turn to set the rules for her." Ha ha ha. After leaving home, I moved into the institution's dormitory. A neighbor messaged me on her own initiative, saying that after I left, Michael had completely become the emperor of the house, ordering his grandparents around. The 2 old people also doted on the child and would fulfill his every request. They were either cooking or ordering takeout, for fear that their grandson would starve. Benjamin came home later and later. He also liked to bring his colleagues home and brag about Michael's previous grades in front of everyone every time. He said the child was a genius and could get the first place without studying. In a blink of an eye, the final exam ended. Tomorrow is the second parents' meeting. The parents of a student I tutored asked me to attend the parents' meeting on their behalf. They were both out of town and couldn't come back. I happened to want to see the learning feedback of the student, so I agreed. As soon as I arrived at the classroom, I ran into Benjamin and my son. Michael was even fatter than the last time I saw him. When he smiled, his eyes narrowed into a slit. When he saw me, he frowned. "No one asked you to come. What are you doing here?" Benjamin snorted. "Obviously, she's here to steal your glory." Michael spat on the ground. "Dream on. I got these grades through my own efforts. It's my dad, grandma, and grandpa's credit. It has nothing to do with you." I smiled faintly. "You guys misunderstood. I'm here for Mark's parents' meeting. He's in my remedial class, and his parents are busy, so they asked me to come." My son burst out laughing. "Mark? That kid transferred here halfway through the semester. He's a poor student. Aren't you ashamed to attend the parents' meeting for him? Later, don't say I'm your son." Benjamin also laughed. "A poor student? How bad is he?" My son looked disdainful. In the first monthly exam, he got 15 points in math, 35 in Chinese, and even worse in English. He only got 8 points. Don't even mention the others. The total is less than 20 points. He dragged down the average score of our class. Benjamin made an ooh la la sound and glanced at me. "Suilian, how did you end up teaching this kind of student? Is your level too low, so you're only fit to teach such students? Hee, it's so funny. And you still have a basic salary of 8,000. Do you feel at ease taking that?" Michael put his hands in his pockets and said lightly. "It seems like you'll be fired soon. But my dad has already hired a nanny to do the housework. I can get good grades without your help. Whether you come back or not doesn't really matter. See? My son understands better than you. Instead of being a good housewife, you have to do this. Now even if you want to come back, it won't be that easy." I chuckled. "Let's wait until the results come out." My son didn't show me any respect as an elder. He pointed at my nose, looking arrogant. "You'll see what happens later." Soon, the homeroom teacher announced the start of the class meeting. The multimedia projector projected a report card. It clearly showed that the first place was Sophia, the second place was Olivia, and the third place was Mark. And Michael's name was at the bottom, in the last place. At this moment, almost everyone in the room turned to look at Benjamin and my son. Because just now, Benjamin had boasted not only to me but also to others that his son would get the first place. Based on their previous impression of Michael, everyone believed him. Now, seeing this result, everyone was trying to hold back their laughter. So he got the last place. No wonder he was so confident. Keep your voice down. Is getting the last place something to be proud of? The father-son duo think it is. Didn't you see how proud they were just now? They're so annoying. I heard them mocking Mark just now. They really have a nerve. The last-ranked student is mocking the third-ranked one as a poor student. Are they out of their minds? The son is muddle-headed, and the father is also acting foolishly. Like father, like son. The father-son pair's faces turned green. My son lowered his head, his hands clenched into fists. Suddenly, he overturned the table and pointed at Mark, shouting. "He cheated. He must have cheated. He was at the bottom in the previous monthly exam. How could he be third now? There must be a mistake in grading my paper. I want to see my paper." The homeroom teacher stopped him seriously. "Michael, I've told you about your situation more than once. You used to have good grades, but since the last mid-term exam, you've slacked off, often asked for leave, and didn't do your homework. In this state, how could you do well in the exam? Here, this is your test paper. Take a look for yourself. Are we wronging you? Also, without evidence, don't accuse others of cheating casually." Mark's grades were poor when he first came because he wasn't feeling well and didn't finish the questions. Moreover, during this period, he has been going to the remedial class, and he has made obvious progress every time. "You don't come to school often, so of course you don't know." My son laughed out loud, his veins bulging. "Bullshit. His remedial class teacher is my mom. Don't I know my mom's abilities? She's just a housewife. What can she teach?" Hearing this, the usually reserved Mark suddenly slapped the table and stood up. "Michael, how can you insult your own mother?" Michael was about to retort when the homeroom teacher's voice cut in. "Your mother has tutored you for so many years, and you always ranked among the top. Now that she doesn't manage you, your grades dropped immediately. And Mark, who used to have poor grades, has jumped to the top 3 under her guidance. Isn't this enough to show your mother's ability? Actually, grades are secondary. The most important thing is to learn to be a person. A person who doesn't respect his parents and classmates, even if he really gets the first place, is still a scumbag. Michael's father, I hope you can take your child home and educate him well. Benjamin suddenly came to his senses, covered his face, and nodded. His face was completely red. As far as I know, just now, in order to show off, he had a video call with his colleagues on purpose. He didn't expect his son to get the last place, which made him lose a lot of face. He still hadn't recovered. After the parents' meeting, he blocked my way. Your son got the last place, and you can really stand by and watch? You have the time to help other people's children improve their grades, but you can watch your own son degenerate? I sneered. So, you can't do without me, right? You finally admit it? He was choked speechless. I let out a laugh. But I'm not willing anymore. I'm not willing to be your wife or Michael's mom anymore. He was stunned for a few seconds and then suddenly burst out laughing. Keep pretending. You were the one who chased me back then. This was kind of my fault. I took the initiative to pursue him, which gave him such strong confidence that he thought I couldn't live without him. But I believe that time will change everything. Sooner or later, his self-righteous confidence will shatter. After the parents' meeting, my abilities were fully recognized by the institution, and they gave me a raise. More and more parents wanted to send their children to my class. My days became fulfilling and free, full of vitality every second. I finally realized that married women can have more than just a family, they can have a broader world. Michael seemed to have realized my value too. He suddenly showed up at the entrance of the institution. With his hands in his pockets, he idly blocked the passing parents and students. He held a photo of me and him in his hand. Look, this is my mom. She's just a housewife and has no real skills. Everything you see is just the company's packaging. It's all fake. If you don't want to waste your money and time, quickly take your kids out of her class. She doesn't take care of the family, the kids, the husband, or the in-laws now. She's selfish and a total social outcast. If your kids follow her, they'll only become ungrateful brats. Seeing this, my colleague, who was just smiling and saying the child was trying to get me back a second ago, immediately stopped talking. She looked very upset. How could this kid be like this? I said, he really is trying to get me back. But the way he chose is to cut off my retreat, forcing me to go back, making me think that only he and his dad are my reliance. This is the real Michael. In my previous life, I spent more than 10 years trying to change him. After he entered high school, I finally taught him to be a polite and gentle child. I thought I had succeeded. But actually, I never did. The child had changed, but he became scheming and good at pretending. That was my biggest failure. You're talking nonsense. Ms. Choi is not the kind of person you described. Since we started taking her classes, we've made progress every time, and studying has become much easier. That's right. Ms. Choi also taught us to communicate more with our parents. She's not as bad as you said at all. But you, slandering your own mom to strangers. Do you have any conscience? Michael's eyes flashed, and he swung his fist. The scene turned chaotic. In the end, they all ended up at the police station. As the child's mother, I apologized to all the parents and took the child home. On the way back, Michael walked behind me, not saying a word. When I stopped, he stopped too. After doing this 3 times, I turned around. He immediately said, "You can come back." I couldn't help but laugh. "What did you say?" He said, awkward yet arrogant, "I said you can go home. I won't hold your past mistakes against you. I allow you to continue being my mom, and of course, you can appropriately manage my studies." As if worried I'd refuse, he quickly added, "If you don't come back soon, Dad will be with another woman." I raised my eyebrows and smiled. "Then I'll go back and have a look." He showed a triumphant smile and quickened his pace. When we got home, the door was wide open. My father-in-law and mother-in-law were sitting on the sofa, their faces red, watching TV. When they saw me, they stood up in a fluster. Shameful sounds came from the master bedroom. I pushed the door open and saw Benjamin and a familiar-looking woman panting on the bed. They calmly pulled up the quilt and continued, oblivious to me. I recognized the woman as Isabella, whom he had previously despised. Afterward, the two came out. The woman leaned on Benjamin's shoulder and looked at me disdainfully. "So this is the tigress in your family. She really lives up to her reputation. Her eyes are terrifying." Benjamin curled his lips and asked me, "Want to come back?" I smiled faintly. "I'm here to inform you that you committed adultery during the marriage. You're the at-fault party, and you'll suffer when dividing the property. He was smug. Adultery? Do you have any evidence? I didn't say much and turned to leave. Michael suddenly grabbed my arm. Where are you going? I glanced at him. You have a new mom now, so I won't stay. Isabella took my son's arm. Yeah, Michael. I'll love you from now on. Michael's eyes showed hesitation. He seemed about to break free from Isabella, but the next second, he did the opposite and grabbed Isabella's hand, shouting loudly, Okay, Mom. His side glance was constantly on me. My mother-in-law ran over and winked at me. If you don't say something, you'll lose your husband and son to others. I sneered. What else should I say? All of this is your own choice. You and Dad told Michael that I'm a bad mother, and Benjamin deliberately opposed me when I disciplined the child, highlighting the bad mother image you imposed on me. Isn't everything you did to make my son hate and loathe me? I'm officially telling you now that you've succeeded. You don't need to act this way in front of me anymore. Michael stared wide-eyed at the three of them, deep in thought. This was the expression I wanted to see. My goal achieved, I didn't stay for a second longer. After I got back, I intercepted the evidence of Benjamin's adultery from the pinhole camera and sent it to the law firm, preparing to file for divorce. I secretly installed this camera on the second day I was reborn. It was precisely to record evidence of Benjamin's adultery so that I could get as much property as possible. Isabella had some popularity online. As soon as the video was released, it caused quite a stir. 3 months later, I won the divorce lawsuit. Since the child chose to be with his father, I could only get half of the property. The moment I got the divorce certificate, I felt completely relaxed. I celebrated with friends, drinking, traveling, and having team-building activities. I lived a carefree and enjoyable life. But just half a month later, the police called my new phone. They said Michael had an accident, and the family was looking for me. Having no other choice, they went to the police station for help. My mother-in-law cried on the phone. Michael's mom, come back quickly. Michael suddenly got sick. He's delirious now and keeps chanting your name. I slowly took a sip of red wine and asked her, Don't worry. Take your time. What happened? My mother-in-law gritted her teeth. It's all that bitch's fault. I said Michael was too fat and shouldn't eat too much, but she did the opposite. Every night, she ordered high-calorie food for Michael. When I stopped her, she called me a vicious grandma, and Michael believed her. After eating carbonated drinks and fried food for a week, Michael got gastroenteritis and was hospitalized tonight. The doctor also said that all his indicators are off the charts, and he needs to lose weight immediately, or there will be danger. I clicked my tongue. These words sound so familiar. She stammered, Yes, I know you said these words many times before. We didn't know much about it. We thought all food was okay. But I know I was wrong now. You were right. Come back. As long as you come back, I'll kick that bitch out right away. Secretly tell you, actually Benjamin didn't marry her. He just used her to play a trick to make you come back. A woman like her can't do housework or cook, and she only has a junior high school education. How can she be worthy of being Michael's mom or my son's wife? You're still the best, Suilian. I laughed out loud. No, no, no. I've had enough of being a haggard housewife. I'm not coming back. I hung up the phone. To get away from this family, I went to a branch opened by my boss to be a regional manager. It was over 1,000 kilometers away from here. On the day the high school entrance examination results came out, I received flowers from many parents, thanking me for helping their children improve their grades. As a teacher, I felt endless pride and joy. My efforts and rewards finally became proportional. On the same day, the boss told me that Benjamin had gone to the head office to make a scene, looking for me. She sent me the surveillance video. In the video, Benjamin's temples were grizzled, his eye bags were heavy, and there were dark circles under his eyes. He looked more than 10 years older. He was shouting my name everywhere. As he shouted, he started crying in front of the surveillance camera. Suilian, I know you're watching me. Come back quickly. Michael didn't even get into an ordinary high school. He has no school to go to. He eats whenever he's frustrated and has gotten even fatter. Now he gasps for breath when climbing the stairs. He throws tantrums at home, shouting and threatening. He also daydreams all day, thinking he's the chosen one. It's all so unrealistic. Anyway, this family can't do without you. That night, I logged into my previous WeChat and made a video call to him. He excitedly showed me Michael's current situation. The child had become as fat as a pig, lying on the bed, eating chips and playing games, with a full beard on his face. When he heard my voice, his eyes lit up a bit. "Is Mom coming back?" Benjamin looked at me expectantly. "Listen, the child is waiting for you." I nodded. "Yeah, as you said, Michael is a mess. Then you'd better hurry up and have another child. Otherwise, in the future, the property might be squandered by a good for nothing, and he won't even be able to take care of you in your old age. A person who can't even get into an ordinary high school, what can you expect from him in the future? You'd better make other plans." At that moment, I saw Michael's eyes tighten. Benjamin opened his mouth to curse at me, but I cut off the video. 3 days later, a piece of news made the headlines. High school entrance examination failure fears step-son will seize property, stabs father's genitals. Benjamin lost too much blood and, due to lack of timely medical treatment, eventually died. My father-in-law and mother-in-law, having lost their son in their old age, cried almost to the point of losing their breath. They turned around to beat Michael, but each was kicked by him and fainted on the spot. Isabella was so scared that she ran downstairs without even getting dressed and became mentally deranged. Michael chased her all the way, but finally, because he was too fat to run, he fell down the stairs and was now in the hospital, being rescued. When I arrived at the hospital, he had been transferred to a general ward, and there was a police officer guarding the door. After a long time, he opened his eyes and woke up. His eyes looked very different. When he saw me, tears streamed down his face, and he called out for the first time, "Mom, Mom. Mom, I was wrong. I shouldn't have not bought you insurance, and I shouldn't have listened to others and thought you were useless. After you left, I became a mess too. The company didn't approve my plan. Dad found a mistress and had a child. My grandparents don't love me anymore. I owed a lot of gambling debts and even tried to jump off a building. This time I'll be good and listen to you only. Mom, please save me." I knew he was reborn too. I also knew that with his previous life memories, if he could retake the exam, he could definitely get into a key high school. But I also knew he had no chance. As expected, in the end, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And I got a green card from a foreign country and embarked on a path of no return.